It was about that time when I was 10 years old. It was a grim welcome to a summer vacation I wasn't exactly thrilled about. I can still smell Aunt Martha's house paint on my nose. But to me, city life held far more appeal than the dusty, whispering cornfields that surrounded her ramshackle Victorian home.
The first night, a symphony of creaks and groans kept me awake. My parents brushed it off as old house settling, but the sounds seemed purposeful, almost mournful. Sleep didn't come easy, and when it did, it was filled with unsettling dreams of pale faces peering through boarded windows. The next day, I explored the house. It was a labyrinth of dusty rooms draped in cobwebs. An air of neglect hung heavy. In the attic, a tattered dollhouse caught my eye. It was intricately detailed, with miniature furniture arranged inside. But a shiver ran down my spine when I noticed the dolls. Porcelain with hollowed-out eyes and unsettling fixed smiles. Terror sent me scrambling back to bed. The next morning, I confronted Aunt Martha. "Did you hear the rocking chair last night?" I asked, with my voice barely above a whisper. Her face remained impassive. "This old house has a mind of its own," she said, her voice raspy. "Don't let it get to you." What did get to me? The house seemed to grow more oppressive with each passing day. The whispers became more audible, and the shadows stretched and morphed in the dim light. One afternoon, while exploring the overgrown garden, I stumbled upon a hidden clearing. In the center stood a towering oak, its branches gnarled and twisted. Tied to them were faded ribbons and small porcelain dolls, their smiles mocking the serene summer day. As I backed away, a twig snapped. My blood turned to ice. A figure emerged from the trees. A young girl, her hair tangled, her dress ragged. She stared at me with those same hollow eyes from the dollhouse. Her smile was terrifying, genuine terror trapped behind painted porcelain. I screamed. My scream echoed through the house, piercing the stifling silence. Aunt Martha came rushing in, her face pale. "What is it?" she snapped. There was no one there. The clearing was empty. But I knew what I had seen. I'd babbled about the girl and the dolls, but Aunt Martha simply sighed. "Those are just stories the townsfolk tell," she said dismissively. That night, my dreams were relentless. The pale girl haunted them, beckoning me to the clearing. Sleep became my enemy. Exhaustion gnawed at me, but fear kept me awake longer. On the last night of our stay, my parents decided to cut the trip short. They wouldn't elaborate. They just said it was best to leave. I was torn. Relief warred with a creeping sense of dread. As we packed, I snuck out of the house one last time. The pull towards the clearing was undeniable. The air around the oak tree felt colder and heavier. The whispers were a deafening roar in my ears. As I approached, I saw a glint of white at the base. It was the doll from the attic, nestled amongst the roots. I picked it up, hollow eyes staring accusingly. Suddenly, a hand clamped down on my shoulder. My scream died in my throat as Aunt Martha loomed behind me, her face contorting in rage. "I told you to stay away!" she hissed. "You shouldn't have come here," she rasped, her voice cracking. "This place is not for you." Before I could react, a loud crack echoed through the clearing. The ancient oak tree split open at the base, its branches groaning under the weight of untold secrets. Aunt Martha stumbled back, her grip loosening for a fleeting moment. It was enough. I bolted, adrenaline pumping through my veins. I didn't dare look back, but the chilling laughter that followed me sent shivers down my spine. I rushed towards the house. Dodging gnarled roots, I arrived at the back porch just as the moonlight revealed a giant maw breaking open within the splintered trunk of the oak tree. A darkness pulsed within, with tendrils of shadow reaching out like grasping claws. Bursting through the back door, I slammed it shut, adrenaline fueling my frantic search for my parents. They were already throwing the car in a frenzy, faces etched with worry. "Get in!" my father roared, the urgency in his voice leaving no room for questions.
We didn't talk much on the drive back. I vividly remember the image of the twisted oak, its darkness spilling out into the night. The silence between my parents was thick, punctuated only by worried glances my way. Weeks turned into months. The memory of Aunt Martha and the haunted house clung to me like a shroud. Nightmares plagued my sleep, visions of hollow eyes and grasping shadows. Every creak of the floorboards in our own home sent a jolt of fear through me.